Good morning, AP Bio. It's Miss Kinney. I was hoping to meet with you virtually. However, since we can't meet together online, I'm recording my lesson so that you can listen to it and stay on pace. So when we do have synchronous learning time, you'll now sign in through Blackboard, and on Blackboard there's now a tab that says Blackboard Collab Ultra. You'll click on that and then click on the session for that day, and it will automatically sign you in with your username. Your mic will be off, your video will be off, and in the chat section there'll be a link for attendance. I really want you to participate, ask questions, and enjoy during class. I'll record all sessions and post them on Blackboard, and I'll try to be in class about 10 minutes prior to the start of class time in case you have questions. Or you can email me questions at any point. Office hours during this week and next week will be used to make up third quarter work. Please reach out to me if you need to make up tests, quizzes, or turn in work. So I looked at the Google form that many of you filled out, thank you, on what your goals were and what's important to you. So when I asked you what you wanted to learn, most of you said anything. I'm a little bit bored. A lot of you guys said, teach me the content for evolution and ecology so I'm prepared for college. So we'll be focusing on evolution, ecology, and preparing for the AP exam, doing a lot of data analysis and critical thinking skills. This is what else you said. You said, yeah, I do like to use the big sheets. Either I'll print out small versions at home or I want to watch them. So that was the primary perspective there. And so while we won't be using huge big sheets, we will be writing, Miss Forney and I are splitting the videos we're making. So we will be writing on diagrams like the big sheet just so you can see our thought process as we work. All of your biggest concerns for online learning were being prepared for the AP test, learning content, and then staying motivated, which I totally understand. Staying motivated is difficult for teachers as well. So I will be focusing on, again, reviewing for the AP exam, content, and hoping to try to keep you guys motivated as well. So each week we'll review for the AP exam, learn content from the last 2 units, and explore and extend and practice for the AP exam, starting this week. My expectations are that you check Google Classroom. I will post videos and content we will be going over on Monday before class on Thursday. So this Monday I posted content on Vista, natural selection, and on speciation, and on mechanisms of evolution, genetic drift, founder's effect, etc. And I expected you to watch those videos and fill out that form and submit it to me before class on Thursday. Okay? So really you should do it by close of business Wednesday so that you're ready for class on Thursday. I will use those videos to inform what I review during class. You will hear Miss Forney's voice and my voice as we make the videos because we're dividing them up. So you'll have videos from both of us. So before class on Monday, you'll check Google Classroom, you'll watch the videos and complete the form. During class, I'll go over any difficulties you had based on the form. That's why I'd like you to try to complete it by Wednesday. We'll work on AP practice problems and we'll discuss the assignment that will be due the next Monday. So after class on Thursday, I'll be posting, or during class on Thursday, I'll be posting the assignment that is due Monday. So basically I'll post twice a week. Monday I'll post new content videos and forms. Thursday I'll post the assignments that are due by that next Monday and sometimes by the class period. So during class I'll clarify, practice, explain the assignment, and do AP review. After class, you will complete the extension assignment and turn it in via Google Classroom. I will grade all work using proficient, which is 80% or above, attempted, which is 60 to 80%, or not done. At the end of fourth quarter, if you do all the assignments well, that means you get proficient, you will be able to raise your grade. Or I will raise your grade. To review for the AP test, we'll be working on AP review guides and we'll be working on practice problems during class. When we get closer to the AP test, which is on May 18th, I will set up time during office hours to do additional review. So for third quarter, I'm not adding anything new to the gradebook. This is your opportunity in the next 2 weeks to turn in anything that you haven't turned in yet to make up any tests or quizzes you need to make up so that they can go into third quarter gradebook, which closes on April 24th. Fourth quarter, everything we're working on now on evolution and ecology and AP review will go into fourth quarter and will be graded as proficient, attempted, or not at all. If proficient on all or most assignments, I will raise your grade, and that will raise your grade for the year. So while fourth quarter isn't technically calculated in, I can use it to raise your grade, which is really great. So last thoughts, please email me if you have questions. I'm still here for you. I miss you guys. Give me feedback on what's working and what you don't like. And I know it's hard to stay motivated. Please talk to me if you're struggling. It's really hard when there's silence because I don't see you guys. I'm used to seeing you and reading your facial expressions. And since I can't see you, I don't know what you're thinking. So you have to reach out to me and tell me what you're thinking. I know we're all at different places, but silence is hard. So please, please reach out to me. Many of you have, and I so appreciate it. So your questions on natural selection and speciation. First of all, you should have completed the Rock Pocket Mice assignment. That was assigned before you left, and I think it was assigned to be due March 13th or something. And I asked you on a Google form what your speciation questions were. So let's talk about that. So now I'm in a Google Classroom, and you can see for this Google Classroom, I posted the classwork for April 13th through 17th. So if you haven't looked at this yet, I posted what I wanted you to do and our plan. So it says only one turned in, but that means one turned in everything. A lot of you turned in the form. So the first thing I asked you to do is watch these evolution videos. There's one on natural selection and population evolution. Those are done by Ms. Forney, and 2 on speciation done by me. So you were supposed to watch these videos and then fill out the Google form. Oops. Fill out the Google form with your questions about the videos and turn it in. You're also supposed to finish up AP Review Guides 1 and 2. So this was by today, by Thursday. Okay, so here are the AP Review Guides, here are the answers. So you're supposed to do the AP Review Guide and then check your answers in a different color. Do AP Review Guide 2, check your answers in a different color. And the last thing I asked you to do was this Google form on natural selection and speciation. So you can see for this class period I've had 22 responses. The first question was about variation in a population and how it can arise in a population. Great answers for that. Natural selection videos. I asked you guys to look outside and pick an animal to use the Vista model on. Squirrels were very popular, oak trees were popular, as were different birds, finches, cardinals, woodpeckers, etc. My kids have also enjoyed watching the birds. Then I asked you guys about bottleneck versus founder's effect and about gene flow. What type of population does genetic drift have the most drastic impact on? Most of you were right. It's a small population. A population must be separated physically to form a new species. True or false? The answer is false. Most of you were right there again. Compare prezygotic and postzygotic barriers, and then questions. Really interesting. A lot of you guys are confused on speciation and reproductive barriers, and a couple of you guys asked about founder's effect, and a couple of you asked me to post the PowerPoint I used, which I will post. So I'm going to take a second now and answer some of your speciation questions. So as you all know, I love a good document camera. So far, we've looked at Vista, which is a model that explains how natural selection can cause evolution. The next thing we looked at were mechanisms for evolution. And this means how evolution can occur. And one of those ways is natural selection. We talked about mutation. We talked about gene flow. And I'm going to start gene flow because gene flow goes into what keeps things part of the same species. So you need gene flow if you do not want speciation to occur. When you restrict gene flow, those are the prezygotic and postzygotic barriers. So we'll come back to that in just a second. The last one people had questions about is this idea of genetic drift. And there are many ways genetic drift can occur. there are many ways genetic drift can occur. We can talk about bottleneck effect. A really good example of bottleneck effect is with cheetahs. So there was tons of cheetahs, okay, and all of those dots represent cheetahs. And then all of a sudden there was a drought, and most of the cheetahs died out. So there are a couple cheetahs left. And over many generations, these cheetahs reproduced again, and there was a lot of cheetahs after they reproduced. However, all of these cheetahs only had the genes from this small selection of cheetahs. So here you see a large population with lots of genes reduced to a small population with a small number of genes. And then these are the only genes that go into the population of cheetahs as the population size grows again. So bottleneck effect decreases variation in a population because even though the population has expanded in size, the number of genes is dependent on just these few cheetahs' number of genes, and that's why it's called bottleneck effect. The other one a lot of people were confused on is founder's effect. And people ask me about humans, and I can give you a good example. If we think about fingers, polydactyly, oh, you guys know I can't spell, or having 6 fingers, is actually a dominant trait. So like big P, or big P, little p would be 6 fingers, and then little p would be 5 fingers. Most people in the world have 5 fingers, so a dominant trait doesn't mean more people have it. However, there was a population of people escaping Europe for religious freedom reasons, and a couple people in that population had 6 fingers. Okay, so if you take the population of Europe, okay, and you have like all these people in Europe, and only a couple of them have 6 fingers. So I'll make the couple that have 6 fingers, I'll circle those in orange. So like a couple people in this population have 6 fingers in Europe. Okay, now part of the European population decides to immigrate to America for reasons of religious freedom. Okay, so they immigrate to the US. And now this is the founder group. Okay, if you look at the European population, only a small percentage of people have 6 fingers. However, the founding group for this small group was 50% 6 fingers and 50% 5 fingered, right? So now when this population expands again, you have a lot more people in the new population with 6 fingers, because again, the founding group wasn't representative of the original population. So in both bottleneck effect and founder's effect, okay, bottleneck effect I would call the survivors. So there's less variation in the survivors, which means there's less variation in the expanded population. And the founder's effect, the original variation still exists in Europe. However, this founding group that started this new colony of people in the US, okay, is not representative of the European population. So when this group expands, okay, they're only using the genes from this founding group. So that's part 1 of the video. Part 2 of the video will be about the AP exam and practice for the AP exam, and a little bit more on pre-zygotic and post-zygotic barriers.